Previously on the Ark of Time.
Sort of like a treasure hunt?
Precisely. A treasure hunt through time, if you will.
And, why should I do any of this?
The reward for your assistance is a treasure of such immense value that even a man of your desires could not spend it all in the remainder of his lifetime. I'm quite proud of the progress you've made already. You are making great strides toward your ultimate goal.
You mean, Solomon's treasure?
Oh, so you figured that one out, did you? I'm impressed.
Pleasure to meet you, mate. Name's Blake. Joe Blake. Those are some interesting pendants that you two are wearing.
My pendant is gone.
Mine too.
Yes, that is rather unfortunate.
What happened?
I'm afraid that you are the unfortunate victims of Mr. Blake's drugs.
Hey, where... He did it again.
That figures. Leaving us to fend for ourselves when we need him the most.
He just abandoned us in our time of need.
Of course, we're not Brit's kids, but still.
He did get us into this mess, so I would think he would show a little responsibility and help us when we're in trouble.
You gentlemen made short work of that riddle. Perhaps you'll be the ones to finally find Solomon's treasure.
You mean, other people have tried in the past?
Well, yes, of course. What did you think Mr. Blake was after?
I never really thought about it, I guess.
So you put Mr. Blake here too?
And you helped him take off with our pendants?
No, Mr. Blake has his own guide.
You mean there's more of you?
Yes, there is one other. He used to be a pupil of mine, but decided to strike out on his own. We've been in competition ever since.
Competition for Solomon's treasure?
In a sense, yes. Though he is only interested in keeping the treasure under wraps.
So, then we better get there before Blake.
Indeed, there is precious little time to waste.
Well then, what are we waiting for?
Very well. Are you ready to try out these new pendants?
They don't look very new.
Well, new to you anyway. Very well, here we go.
Wait, what happened to our instructions?
It's about time you two showed up.
I hope we're here just in the nick of time.
Well, if time is of the essence, we should really get to our task.
Good idea, preacher. Besides, I think I'm out of time-related puns.
You'll think of more for next time.
You don't seem to run out, though.
Comedic timing is one of my many talents.
Before you exercise your talent to disappear, maybe you can tell us where we are now?
Yes, you did depart a bit early last time. That is an unfortunate side effect of using someone else's pendant. I was hoping you'd have a bit more time to decipher my riddle.
Yes, well, we can't always get what we want, right?
I suppose that even I can't dodge that particular rule.
You're only human.
Close enough for now, I suppose. Shall we get down to business then?
That'd be great.
You've got quite a lot of work to do here, and you'll need to save someone's job before you have a chance to get a glimpse of your ultimate goal.
That's it?
Indeed.
Well, that's not very helpful. But I guess it's all that we'll need, huh?
Come on, Adam. I'm getting tired of hearing him say it.
Well, he doesn't need to this time. That's why I was...
And he's gone again.
Well, any idea what he was talking about this time?
I'm really not sure.
Riddles can usually be figured out by breaking them apart, though. It's probably another word game.
I'm really not very good at those.
Well, we already know what our ultimate goal is, and it will certainly be nice to get a look at it.
But I can't think of any biblical characters that need to have their career saved.
He didn't really say career. He said job.
Right, but how are we going to know whose job to save?
That's the riddle part, I suppose.
Have you got anything in your pockets?
Nothing unexpected. I've still got the tracking device.
That might be helpful eventually, but probably not now unless the wayward employee is wearing a pendant.
I don't think we'll be that lucky.
Probably not.
Well, no use sitting on this hill all day. Maybe we should have a look around.
Very well. Which way do you want to go?
Maybe we should go toward that smoke over there.
That seems like as good an idea as any.
Well, it looks like your two minions are having a rough go of things already.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
You've made some improvements to these pendants since the last batch.
I didn't think that your master was worthy of the top-of-the-line model. Neither are you, for that matter, but now that you have it, you're playing your part beautifully. Did you come here to discuss the merits of my creations?
Not at all, mate. My master asked me to come here to chat with you about Job.
Ah, I knew that he must, but he came himself last time.
He's a bit busy, so he asked me to remind you that Job is only pious because of the blessings that you have bestowed upon him.
I suppose it does sort of seem that way, but I trust that Job is a good man.
But you can't really be sure. This requires a test.
And you want me to give you permission to put Job's faith to the test?
You've done it every time before.
And it always turns out the same way.
But it might be different this time.
I suppose it might.
Not to mention you don't want to make a liar of yourself.
I'm sorry.
You already sent Adam and Jessup to help Job through his difficulties, so it's clear that you're always going to say yes.
You will do what you must.
Until next time, then.
Excuse me, sir, but what are you doing?
Yeah, that smells delicious.
I am offering up a burnt offering to God to repent for the sins of my 7 sons.
Are you sure that little calf is enough of an offering?
I am certain.
7 sons, you say? You haven't also got 3 daughters, have you?
Yes, how did you know that?
That's a lot of kids.
I've actually heard of you, Job.
You've heard of me?
Yes, from Eliphaz.
Ah, yes, and how is Eliphaz?
He is doing quite well. He mentioned that he might be coming to see you in a few days.
I can't imagine why he'd want to do that, but I'm sure I'll be pleased to see him just the same.
We'll see about that. Anyway, I'm Jessup Jones, and this is Adam King. We've been traveling for quite some time now, and it seems that the wind is starting to pick up. I wonder if you might be able to spare some shelter for the evening?
I'm sure that I can. All of my children are staying tonight at the home of my oldest son. My wife and I would be glad for the company. I am just about finished here. Come, let me show you the way.
We really should get inside before we get blown away.
An excellent suggestion. My son's home is just over here. Perhaps we should stop there until the storm passes.
Come on, Job, there's nothing we can do for them.
I have to try to help them.
It's too late for them. Come on, we need to get you inside.
But maybe there's...
No, Job, trust me.
If God is so great, why does he let such terrible things happen to good people like you, Job?
This is not God's fault.
How can you say that?
Naked I came out of my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. Lord has given and Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Now you're starting to sound like the preacher here.
He means that everything happens for a reason.
I get that sort of, but that's an awful lot of devotion.
What happened to make you so jaded, Adam?
I don't really want to talk about it.
I suppose that's all right for now, but you'll have to tell me eventually. I'd like to help you.
I'm not sure that you can. Is this your house, Job?
Yes.
You certainly do have a lot of cattle.
Not anymore.
You have to stay strong, Job.
What do you mean, stay strong? The man just lost all of his children and his means of making a living. I'd give up.
Your friend is right, Mr. King. I trust that without my children and cattle that God will still provide. Please, come inside. I will have someone clear these poor creatures away.
I thought you might be back again. Job seems to be taking your test well.
Yeah, a little too well. He's perhaps only able to do that because he has such excellent health. You should really let my master put that to the test as well.
Job is loyal and I have faith in him.
Then there should be no reason to fear one more test.
Tell your master that he can test Job's person, but he may not test his life.
That works for me.
And when Job passes the test, will you turn away from the dark path on which you find yourself?
I'll certainly consider it.
I hope so.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a delightful breakfast.
It was the least that I could do. You have been such a comfort to my Job in this terrible time.
Yeah, we're happy to help.
Well, we're glad that God sent you to us.
Actually, it was a man in a tuxedo, who we like to call...
You know, I've been thinking about that, Adam. What if Brit really is a messenger from God?
I guess I hadn't considered that. I suppose it's better than my mad scientist that hears voices telling him how to build time machines theory.
I'm sorry, but what are you talking about?
It's sort of hard to explain, but we were sent here to help Job through his difficulty.
Oh, I get it now. Save someone's Job would sound a lot like save someone's job if you had to hear it from a meddling Brit.
I'm glad you were finally able to catch on.
Right. That sort of does make it seem like he might be working for the big guy. What do you suppose? He's an angel or something?
That I couldn't say. We could ask, but I doubt he'd tell us.
Well, when you see this man, please thank him for making sure that you were here when Job needed you most. Job! What happened to you?
I fear I have been afflicted with some terrible illness. I may not survive this torment.
You must not give up now, Job. You can overcome even this.
I will try, but the itching is terrible.
Come on, let's get you outside. Maybe we can help by washing you off.
I'm pretty sure he needs more than a little water.
Don't come near. I will attempt to fix this myself. I don't want any of you to get sick as well.
I am very worried about him.
How can I get word to Eliphaz? Maybe he and some of Job's other friends who know him better can help him through this better than Adam and myself.
I'll send word for him to come.
Great. So what are we going to do while we wait?
We're going to pray, Adam.
More of that, huh? Well, I guess it can't make things much worse. Ugh! That's kind of disgusting. What is he doing?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that he's scraping his skin off with broken pottery.
Well, yeah, but why?
Job, is that ash really helping with the pain?
Not much, but it is all that I can do. I fear that I will not be able to stand this torture much longer.
Job, you have endured more than any man should at the hands of God. There is nothing left now but to curse God and die.
You speak as one of the foolish speaks. Moreover, shall we receive good from God and shall not receive evil? I will endure for his sake, and say no more on the matter.
You are a foolish man, and have obviously lost God's favor. Eliphaz has come. Perhaps he can talk some sense into you.
Job, how are you?
Eliphaz, I'm glad that you've come.
Do I know you?
Not exactly, but it is important that you are here. You and your friends must keep watch over Job, though it is unlikely that he'll speak to you for at least 7 days.
Why is it always 7 days?
And how do you know that?
He's a prophet.
So Job's friends are just going to watch him sit there?
No, they're going to try to figure out why all of this has happened to Job.
And why has it happened to Job?
Because you wish to test the faith of one of the most faithful.
And you're saying it does not matter at all that he is deciding even now if he should continue to be on your side?
Joseph, I do not require the approval of my creation. I gave man free will for a reason.
I don't think I'll ever understand that one. Why not just enslave them?
That's not really why they exist.
Why do they exist? Is there some meaning to the lives that they lead?
I'm certain that their lives have meaning.
That's it then?
That's it then.
Very well. As for Job, his friends all seem certain that he has done something to sin against God.
They do indeed, but they are wrong.
But they will not believe him.
No, they will not.
And you still have faith that Job would not break?
Man is not without his faults. I suppose we'll have to wait and see and then decide how to best handle the situation.
A good thing we will not have to wait too long.
Yes, 7 days can be quite short from this point of view.
Job, you must have done something to incite the wrath of God. God always rewards good and punishes evil. If you will just confess your sin, I am certain that your affliction will end.
You do not understand, Eliphaz. None of you do. I have done nothing, and yet I have been punished and beaten as an unloved child who wishes only to know the love of his parent. I curse the day I was born.
Job, it pains me greatly to hear you say that.
I don't understand. Who are you?
If you had not been born, just think of how much worse life would be for those around you.
You mean all his dead children down the road there?
It was a necessary step in Job's development.
It was necessary for God to abandon Job, just like you abandoned us in that cave with Mr. Blake?
Just because you couldn't see me doesn't mean I wasn't there, Adam.
Whatever.
Fine. Now that we've all learned our lesson, can you put me out of my misery?
There's still quite a lot for you and your friends to do. You're not ready for death yet.
I don't see any other way out of my pain.
I'll bet that all you have to do is ask.
Not now, Adam.
Adam is quite right, Jessup.
But why must I have endured such torment? I have been a faithful servant.
Job, have you ever had the authority to decide the fate of your entire creation? It is a great responsibility.
I could not hope to understand the reasons for all things. I am sorry to have failed and fallen short in your eyes. I can only repent now and pray for the strength to make amends.
That will do fine. More righteous words have rarely been spoken. As for your friends, you have been ignorant and lacked understanding. Job had done no wrong, and yet his faith was tested. You will prepare and burn offerings. Job will pray for your forgiveness.
Of course.
Jessup, Adam, come walk with me.
That's it then? Job had to be almost killed so that he would understand that he was faithful? Which he knew before all of this started?
I think the point is that God does not require approval for his actions. We must do the best that we can with what we are given, and not waver in our faith no matter how dire the situation may seem.
I could scarcely have said it better myself, Jessup.
So, what will happen now?
Job will regain everything that he has lost, and then some. He will father 10 new children, and they will be the most beautiful and powerful in all the lands. Job and his wife will live quite a long time and have 3 times the fortune that they knew before.
That's a pretty good reward. Hey, I think we did a pretty good job keeping Job on track. Aren't we supposed to get a glimpse of the treasure now?
You've had your glimpse already. I do hope you're finding it to your liking.
I didn't see any treasure.
Perhaps he means the great wealth that Job had.
I'm afraid the treasure's a great deal more than that.
Sounds good to me.
Indeed. By the way, we were thinking that you might be some sort of messenger from God.
Ah, that is interesting.
Are you saying that you are not?
I've said several times that I am.
Ah, so you're some kind of angel then?
Not exactly.
Well, whomever you are, I'm glad that you brought us here so that we could help Job.
Yes, you did quite a good job with Job.
You two are going to be the death of me.
Don't say that, Adam. I've actually started to like having you around.
Yeah, you're not so bad yourself. Are we done with the mushy stuff now?
I suppose. Where are we going next?
Next, I'll be sending you just a bit into the future so that you'll get a chance to glimpse how things could possibly turn out. But remember that nothing is ever set in stone. Very well. Godspeed, gentlemen. Tonight's episode of the Ark of Time was written by Michael Helgens. Jessup Jones and Adam King were performed by Steve Rimpici and Greg Kilberger. Additional voices were provided by Michael Helgens, and the music was courtesy of Kevin MacLeod. Until next week, thank you for listening, and good night from Stroby Studios.
Coming March 6th from Stroby Studios. A story of mystery.
Sir Charles was found dead on the grounds just 3 nights prior. He appears to have died of a heart attack, but it seems he was...
Intrigue.
He was the present lord of the manor here at the estate, and had plans to use much of his vast fortune to invest in the isolated districts surrounding the hall.
So there is a good deal of money at stake, then?
You have no idea.
Deduction.
Well, I think it was quite obvious, really, Watson.
And a killer dog?
Watson!
I see him, Holmes!
According to legend, the family is afflicted with a curse by a giant black hound that killed Sir Hugo some 200 years ago.
Don't miss the return of the Watson Files with the Season 2 premiere, The Hound of the Baskervilles.
What do you know of the bearded man who rode in your cab yesterday?
Nothing other than he said he was the great detective Spencer Holmes.
Oh, really? Well, that is interesting.
Subscribe today at StrobyStudios.com. You won't want to miss a single episode.